Okay, so hey everyone, my name is Sahil and we are again back with an amazing session. And in this session, we are going to make the cylinder block of an inline four-cylinder engine. And yeah, we already made the previous parts like piston head, wrist pin, connecting rod, and crankshaft. If you haven't checked that out, the link is in the description. You can check out those videos. Some basic tools for 3D modeling are explained over there if you don't know that. So just check out those videos and let's continue with this one. So now, first of all, again, let me just show you how a cylinder block looks like so that we can make a model of it, right? So as you can see, this is what a cylinder block looks like. But of course, it has a lot of detailings. We are not going to make the whole thing today. Of course, we are going to modify it later video by video. But today, in today's session, we are just going to make it so that it can assemble with piston, crankshaft, and connecting rod. We're not thinking about any other parts right now because we just made these four, right? So we are just going to make a cylinder block which can actually assemble with those four parts at least, right? Then by session, when we are going to make different parts to connect with the engine with this cylinder block, we are going to modify it, right? So for now, let's just make a cylinder block which has these holes so that piston can be attached to it. It has some gap over here so that the connecting rod can attach with the crankshaft, and crankshaft is also fit inside it, right? So let's just make a crankshaft like that. I have already taken dimensions from the models which I made. You can take dimensions from there, like this piston head dimensions, just take the diameter from that piston head which you made. And for this hole over here, you can just take the dimension of the crankshaft which you made, right? And for this curved portion, which is actually hollow from inside, to give some space for movement of the connecting rod around the crankshaft, right? So for that, you can just take the radius of that crankshaft which you made, right? After taking all the dimensions, let's go back to SolidWorks and let's open a new part. First of all, let's start making by the top, from the top view. Let's make four holes first, and let's make some outer part like around them so that we can actually convert it into a 3D body, right? So for that, let's just go to top plane, and here let's just make an axis in the middle first, and let's make a circle, or let's take a gap from here, let's say of something around 0.1, yeah, 0.11 meters, yeah, over here. And let's make a circle over here with a radius of 0.1. There you go. And let's make another circle at a gap of, let's say, 0.22 mm. I to take these dimensions from the model as I told you. Let's just make this horizontal, and let's give it a dimension of, or first of all, let's just make this circle fix over here. And now let's just give this line a dimension of 0.2, right? Just like that. Or yeah, it's fine. Now if I make another circle over here with the radius of 0.1 again, there you go, right? Now we can just mirror these two circles on the other side. Just click on mirror, choose both of these circles, click on mirror, and choose this axis. There you go, right? These are the four pistons arrangement in my piston assembly. But of course, whichever crankshaft you are making now, just take the gap from there and take the diameter of this piston head. Then you can make this kind of arrangement, right? After making this, you can just make an outer portion for it. Let's just choose center rectangle, and let's start making a rectangle from here, something like this. And let's give this one a dimension of, let's say, 0.3. All right, and let's give this one a dimension of 1.08235. Yeah. After making this, what you can do, you can just simply go to extrude, and there you go. you have this geometry ready, and you can just extrude it, right, like this. Then you have 4 holes in between on which we can attach our pistons, right? And for this depth, I want to take it as 0.35. Yeah, this is fine, right? Now we can just make the bottom part of it where we want some hollow portion now, so that the connecting rod can move around with the crankshaft, right? So they have some space for rotation. So for that, I'm going to choose this surface as a sketch, and I'm going to make an arc from, first of all, let's just make a straight line. Sorry, not a line. Let's make an axis, and let's give it a length of 0.6. Okay, 0.6. There you go. Now I want to make a circle with a radius of 0.25. So let me just type 0.25 over here. Yeah. So this will be our radius, right? Now let me just close this by again choosing this end point over here, and let's just trim the part which we don't want. Like I don't want, first of all, let's just choose a line and close it over here, right? From this point to this point. Yes. Right now I don't want this line over here, so just choose trim and just delete this line over here. There you go. Right, after this, what you can do, you can just simply extrude it if you want to. First of all, let's just make another hole over here for taking our shaft out from the crankshaft, right? So for that, again, let's just go to the standard plane centered view again, and let's make a circle in between which has a radius of 0.035. Right now, basically, cylinder block is just the half portion above this straight line over here, right? Just the half portion of this one, because for the bottom side we have another part made which is actually connected after putting all the assembly inside, right? So for that, I'm going to cut this portion in half. Let's just make a straight line, and let's choose trim to delete those lines which we don't want it. There you go. Right. Okay, I forgot to delete this line over here. Yes, now we are good to go. And let's just delete this one over here as well in the middle. Yeah, actually, I think first of all we have to make the whole solid part, and then we have to cut it, because I want a hole over here as well, and I want this part inside as hollow, right? Not this outer part. I want this portion to be inside, just hollow. The At the outer portion, I want this to be as cutted, right? So what I can do, let's just cut it for now. So let's just extrude it, and let's just delete this middle line over here. Yeah, and let's just extrude it till the end on this side, and instead of line, just choose up to surface and choose this surface. Right, now we have this geometry ready. Now what we can do, we can just make a reference plane inside, some add some gap. Just make sure that it won't be this gap must be bigger than that gap on which we are going to make a reference plane. Right, so for that, let's choose a reference plane. Let's choose the surface, and I want in the inward direction, so let's just flip the direction. Click on this flip offset feature, and just increase the gap. Right, this is fine. Just click on OK, and on this plane, we are going to make the similar profile to cut, right? So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to make again a circle, and let's choose the center, and let's make a profile with a similar radius, just like that one, which is 0.25. Yeah, just like this. And as you can see, it is over here, right? So if we cut this end portion, have some thickness, right, which we actually want. So now what we can do, we can just simply, first of all, yeah, we can just cut it like this as well, because we are cutting it. It doesn't matter if you remove the bottom portion or not, right? For this one over here, let me just drag this, and this whole length is something around, I actually didn't measure the length. First of all, let's just close this. Let's go to evaluate. Let's go to measure and just select these two faces so that we can actually know the length of it, which is something around 1.08 meters. Yeah, it is 1.08 meters. So now either on this side we have a gap of 0.04. So on the other side as well we have a gap of 0.04, which is equal to 0.08. Then we just have to give this cut a length of 1 meter, right? So let's just go to extrude cut now, and let's give this one as 0.1, sorry, 1. Yeah, there you go. Okay, it has some errors. Now let's see what error do we have. Okay, it might show error because we have an open boundary over here and it has the similar length, which is actually 0.05. So what we can do, instead of 0.25, let's just decrease this length to, let's say, 0.24. This would work, right? Now let's just go to extrude cut feature again, and let's give it a length of 1, and let's click on OK. There you go. Right, now we can just select and hide this plane. As you can see, we have some gap, but we have lost those holes, right? So what we can do, we can just simply again, click over here, go to sketch, choose all these circles, or what you can do, you just simply choose it and click on convert, choose convert, choose convert, again select and convert. Right, now you can just again cut it. Simple. Right, just decrease this length and click on OK. There you have it. You have all these holes ready, right, to attach your pistons and connecting rod and crankshaft as well, right? So now what we can do, we can just simply leave it over here, or you can just do some of the detailings at least, which is actually over there for, better uh, heat distribution on this whole cylinder block, right? Because the combustion reaction is actually going to happen on this body, right? The main force of that reaction is going to happen on cylinder block and piston, right? So let's just make those holes for good heat distribution, and after that we can just go to fillet and finish it, right? So let's just go over here. Let's do some detailing with one part, and we can just, give it some pattern, add some length, right? So over here, let's just make an axis first to know the exact gap between them. This is 0.1 and this is 0.11, right? So let's just give over here a length of 0.11. Wait a second. Let's see the gap between them first. Let's select a point over here, and let's select a point over here, and this is, it is 0.23 something. But if I remember, I actually give the length of 0.22. Just give me a second, guys. I guess over here we have some mistake. Let's just correct it. First of all, just exit out from the sketch and go over here, click on edit sketch, and let's see, do we have given this a length of 0. Okay, let's just give it a length of 0.22. There you go. Right, now just click on exit, and we have it. Right, now we can just edit the sketch. Let's just delete this line, and let's make an axis. Let's just place it over here and let's give it a length of 0.11. Right, now as you can see, it is exactly in the middle. Now what we can do, we can just simply place a similar line on the above axis as well, just to give it a standard dimension. Let's place a line over here and let's give it a dimension of, let's say, 0.12. Yeah, right. Now whichever pattern we are going to make, we are going to make inside this square portion, right? And if you want, you can actually make a square. Just click on this point and from this you can take dimension and over here, right? Just click on this, and right now we are going to make all those holes. So for that, you can take reference from this image as well, or you can just make random holes as well if you want to, right? If we take a reference from this image, it has one circle, then one profile. In the middle there is a small, no, triangular kind of hole with some round edges. On the other side, on the left side, it has a similar hole and an arc kind of hole on the top, and a similar triangular hole which is kind of deep on the left side, right, where we don't have a connection between two holes. So let's just make something like this. Let's start making a hole from here. Okay, not here. Yeah, exactly over here. Right. Let's give it a dimension of, let's say, 0.00 or 0.01. Yeah. Now let's make another hole on over here, a little down from there, right? Let's make something like this, and let's give it this one some kind of curve, right? So for here, I'm going to choose this fillet, and let's just decrease this radius to 0.004. And now if I choose this point, it has this kind of curve. Over here, if you want to give the curve, then you have to make a line first. So let's just make a line, straight line over here, right? Something like this. Or let's just avoid a straight line, let's make a similar line just like this line over here, right? So for that, what we can do, fine, let's make an axis in the middle, and or we can actually, we have that square ready. I thought that was a surface edge. Sorry, let's just delete this line. Let's just press Ctrl Z. Yeah, now what we can do is simply go to mirror, sorry, not move, go to mirror, choose this line, and on the mirror about, choose this axis. There you go. Right, now you can just choose the fillet and just give it a fillet like this, right? And over here, yeah, it is fine. Now what you can do, you can just simply delete this, or let's just trim it instead of deleting it. Yeah, this is fine, right? Now it is fine. Now you can just click over here, and now let's make a pattern over here, which is an arc. Let's choose an arc. Let's make an arc over here. Let's give it an offset, reverse, and let's decrease this radius to 0.008. Click on OK, and let's choose another two arcs just like that over here as well, right? Now what we can do, we can just mirror it. So let's go to mirror, let's choose these two, and let's click on mirror. Right, or instead of making that deep cut, you can just make this kind of cut over there as well. Let's just go to mirror and let's choose this one, this one, this one, and this line over here. Let's click on mirror and let's choose the middle axis, right? There you go. Now what we can do, we can just simply delete uh, the square from here, which we don't want. Let's just delete this edge. delete this one over here, and let's delete this one from there. Yeah, just like that. Right, and we can mirror, we can actually delete this, but that will affect this line over here as well. So what we can do, hmm, let's just delete it one by one. Right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mirror this whole pattern on the other side, or first of all let's just mirror it on this side over here. Right, so for that I'm going to select one by one every single thing, just like that. Click on this axis for the mirror. There you have the similar pattern. Right now I'm going to, you can use linear pattern to mirror it, or what you can do, you can just simply mirror this one by one, right, whichever you find comfortable. I'm going to use the linear sketch pattern, and I'm going to select first of all the x-axis, yeah, and in this choose the select tab, just select all these things. Okay, just select them one by one. There are a lot of constraints over here, that's why it is taking some time. To avoid that, you can actually delete it one by one from the very start, right? These green things, these are actually constraints. If you want, you can just delete them. And right now we have selected everything. Now we can do, we can just increase the distance between them to, let's say, 0 point. Yeah, and we can increase the number of patterns to 4. Right, now if I click on OK, as you can see, it is saying that it contains a large number of relations. Yeah, just click on yes, and there you go. Right, now it will make your interface a little slow, but don't worry, just give it some time and it will be fine. Now let's just delete this line over here. Let's delete it again. There are two lines now, and we want this whole sketch as one. We want to delete it, right? So let's just trim this portion over here as well. There you go. Over here it is fine. Let's just delete this from here as well. Okay, this is not in the middle. Did we do anything wrong? Let me just see. Let's press Ctrl Z. Yeah, we are back again over here. And what we can do, we can just simply, avoid this line over here. That will help us a lot. And let me just see what is the dimension issue. Yeah, now it is fine. Let's just delete this line over here as well. Yep. Now if I click on OK and just exit the sketch once, and let me see like these two are at the similar gap or not. Let me just check. Yeah, actually this gap is actually a bit higher than usual. As you can see over here, it is less, right? And this is creating issues. So let's just fix it. Again, go to the sketch, go to edit, and you can just change this, gap between them. Just go to smart dimension. Or before going to smart dimension, if you remember, I fixed this sketch. So let's just delete this fixed constraint. I deleted them all. Don't worry. Just click on smart dimension and choose this point over here and choose this point and just specify this gap as 0.11. Yes, right. And over here also just define the gap instead of giving the dimension to the line. As you can see, it is increased. Just give it 0.22, right? That will do the thing. And yeah, it is changed everywhere. Now we can just click on OK and exit the sketch, right? Now let's get back again to the sketch, and let's just give it a pattern, a linear sketch pattern. Okay, there are some changes over here, as you can see, because I changed that sketch. So let's just, first of all, now let's just uh, clear them over here. Select the middle point. Okay, it is not from here. Let's place a line on this, similar line over here from the middle point. Yeah, from here. Just make two lines just similar like that over here as well, from the middle point, vertically upwards and vertically downwards over there as well. Right now we can just trim this feature, this extra part actually, and let's just trim this line again for this one. Okay, just press Ctrl Z. Yeah, now let's get back again to trim, and first delete this line, then you can just delete this one. There you go. I just, now if I just give it a pattern, it will just do the trick. Just give it to linear sketch and just select this kappa 0.22, increase the number to 4, and in this selection tab just select all of these. Okay, there is some gap between them. uh, that issue comes because we changed that sketch, but we can fix it. We can just make some lines to connect them. So for now, let's just click on OK, and as you can see, these are not messing up right now. We can just make some lines to connect them. Let's just make some lines to connect all these open things, right? A straight line, connect them one by one. Okay, we forgot to add this one over there. Let's just connect it like this, and let's choose this one over here. You can fix it, right? You can just again press Ctrl Z and select everything. I actually forgot to select that part, just on the downward one. And yeah, guys, one more advice from my side. Actually, while you make this, uh, these kind of patterns, now, sometimes, very few times, SolidWorks actually crash. So just make sure you save your file. If you have less than 4 GB of RAM, if you have more than that, then just don't worry. Just don't run some more things like with the SolidWorks. Okay. Now we are done with this patterns. Now we can just cut it. I don't want to cut it through the whole thing. I just want to cut it over 0.3. Right, just click on OK, and there you go. right? We have these patterns over here. Now you can make further modifications if you want to. For now, let's just give some fillet on the sharp edges. Let's just select this hole. There you go. Just click on OK and you have this curved edge. Right. Now over here you can just leave it, or what you can do, you can just simply add some fillet over here as well if you want to. But of course it's fine. For now we can add our pistons and crankshaft and connecting rod in it, and I'm going to show that in the coming video. So yeah, for this video this is pretty much for now. Thank you so much, and I hope you learned something new, and it is looking pretty much fine. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much.